What's going on, guys? My name is Brian, and in this video I'm going to be talking about myself, my story, and how I got started in entrepreneurship. Now, before we get started, I just want to remind you guys, if you haven't seen the previous video about this channel and things to expect and my outline for this channel, please go and watch it. Pause this video right now. We'll wait for you. We'll just wait for you. And okay, welcome back. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so try guessing my age, because my age, I feel, is very important into who I am. So at the time of recording this video, try guessing my age. Okay, alright, so I don't know what you have guessed, based on what you know about me, based on the content you've seen me create, or based on what you saw on Instagram, but my age is actually 24. So I still get that I look 18, 19, maybe because I age really well, or like those Asian genes. But so I'm actually 24 years old and I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Now, I actually discovered online entrepreneurship back in 2010, maybe even late 2009. I believe, from what I can remember, it was when I was ending grade 9 in the summer, transitioning into grade 10. And here in Canada, or at least the majority of Canada, high school is actually grade 10, 11, and 12. I know in many parts of the United States it actually starts in grade 9, but I was ending junior high, going into high school, and then me and my buddy, like a close friend of mine, we kind of discovered this thing called like 100K in 90 days. And it's by this guy named Vic something, like the last initial is S, like Vic S. And obviously we didn't get any results from that, but that experience when we joined the program, it wasn't really a program, but when we joined the course and kind of learned more about online marketing, it kind of opened the door towards, oh, you can actually make money online and things are different, right? You don't need like formal education to make a lot of money, and the power of the internet is actually like amazing. So that's when I discovered online entrepreneurship. And because I tried a lot of different things, like basically the entire time that I was in high school and in university, I was just learning about stuff, right? Like I would read blog posts, I'd read things that people talk about on social media, I would watch YouTube videos, I would buy courses, I would download like free PDFs here and there. Like I would just seriously do as much as I could and invest it in myself in terms of the money spent and in terms of the time that I would spend, because I would seriously sacrifice time that I could be spending with friends and family to learn more about online business, right? It was an obsession, but that's the kind of determination and discipline that you need if you want to be successful. Now, because I actually graduated from university, I feel like it's a very stark difference compared to a lot of online entrepreneurs. I mean, depends who you follow and depends on how long you've known about this whole like online entrepreneur or online marketing world, but a lot of people are actually high school and university / college dropouts, and I'm not one of those people. I mean, it's definitely defined who I am today because I graduated university. But yeah, I'm just going to talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, I just wanted my university degree, right? Like I had a lot of good experiences from there. I met my girlfriend in university, very thankful for that. I met a lot of other really awesome people. I learned a lot of different things about academics and how the corporate world works. But again, having a university degree has nothing to do with being a business owner, and that's why I wanted to finish with So I just wanted to get my degree, get that over with, and I didn't want to graduate school with like with low grades, right? So I ended up graduating with a 3.18, which is okay, right? Like it's not the highest, but at the end of the day, it's like, who cares what your GPA is if you're going to be an entrepreneur? Right? I know a lot of people that graduate and apply for jobs, and a lot of their employers, when they interview them or even after they get the job, they don't even care about the GPA, right? So it's kind of like an arbitrary number, but it was something in the back of my mind that like, oh, I didn't want to fail my parents and I didn't want to fail myself, and I wanted to finish school and focus on it before I focused on something else. Again, even though I knew I wanted to be an online entrepreneur, I just wanted to fulfill that duty before I focused on anything else. So I basically graduated university about a year and a half ago in June of 2017. And during that time, I was actually working for the government as my full-time office job, my corporate job. And I was working there until the very beginning of this year, in January of 2018. And then after, because again, I knew I wanted to be an online entrepreneur, right? So then after, I just, again, went back to the previous cycle. It's like, I got myself reacquainted with this whole like marketing space, this whole online entrepreneur space, because I completely like disregarded it for the entire time in my last, year of university and my full-time job. So it took me a while to get back into things, but that was the goal, right? Like I wanted to get back into it as soon as possible. So I got back into it, and then I was looking for part-time jobs because I still had my own expenses, right? Like I still had bills to pay, I still had insurance and student loans and stuff like that. So I worked part-time, I'd say from mid-April until like a very long time, basically until recently when I quit my job. But I was working part-time, and then I was, again, part-time at my job to get some money coming in, and then I was also a part-time business owner and learn more about entrepreneurship. So then what happened was I focused on online entrepreneurship, right? But then I knew what I wanted to do for a very long time, and it was something related to Facebook ads, Facebook advertisement. So basically, if you're not aware of what that is, it's like, you know, those sponsored posts when you're scrolling through your newsfeed on both Facebook and Instagram. That's the kind of things like that I wanted to do, right? For clients and for myself and for products and stuff like that. So I know I wanted to focus on that. So then I invested in myself. I bought a big ticket course. It was almost 1.8K Canadian dollars. In US, it was $13.97. So the conversion was $13.97 to almost 1.8K Canadian, which is like basically the biggest, if not the most biggest investment I've ever spent on something, on anything that's not related to my car. So it was a pretty big investment, and still to this day, I'm learning things from that. I'm getting value from it. But then around mid-June of this year in 2018, I discovered messenger marketing, I discovered chatbots, and I've been focusing 100% on chatbots ever since. And ever since I discovered it, I was like, I fell in love with it, right? Like it was really cool technology. It's bridging the gap between how business owners and their customers and prospects communicate. And it's just really cool and really unique and brought something new to the marketing marketplace. And so I completely dove into the world of messenger marketing and chatbots. Ever since then, I have my own agency in it. And even in September of this year, I actually went to a conference. It's devoted completely to messenger marketing. In fact, it's the world's first messenger marketing conference. And I met a lot of people there, learned a lot of different things. I was absolutely blown away. It was my very first conference. It was absolutely spectacular. Had a really good experience there, learned a lot of different things, like I said. Actually, I'll even have a video about that in the future. But that's what I did. And then I formally incorporated my business in October of this year. So actually the date specifically was October the 2nd, which is my birthday, to be honest. So on October 2nd, I incorporated my business, and I guess the biggest thing about that was I formally legitimized my business, even though an agency, even though services, even though like as a freelancer, I didn't technically need to. But my business, Phenom Marketology, I founded it at the beginning of October of this year, and I'm very proud of it. It's a huge milestone, and that's kind of where I am today. Now that 2018 is coming to a close, and a lot of people, myself included, are kind of making their plans and New Year's resolutions for next year, it's like it reminds me of why I got started in entrepreneurship, right? Why I decided to be different, why I decided to carve this road and path out for myself that's not really conventional. And it just reminds me that like, oh, okay, I can be comfortable, I can be somewhat, happy at a 9-to-5 job, but then long term it's just detrimental, right? Like I have a lot of friends and family who are in the 9-to-5 job, and without this whole like online entrepreneurship thing, like online business thing, I would definitely be there right along with them. And I have no disrespect whatsoever to people who work there. But I'm like, if you know about something that you can relate to better and that makes you happier long term, and you can make a lot more money and you can provide a lot more for your family, it's like, it's a no-brainer, right? So I'm reminded every day about why I started what I started and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And as of right now, yes, my business is not in a super successful state. I want to be honest with you guys. I'm not making this channel so that I can brag about how well I'm doing, or that I can brag about like, oh, I'm doing something different and I'm better than you guys. Like, not at all, right? Like, again, I'm not any different compared to you. The only difference is, again, if you see my previous video, I stated, oh, I'm just like a regular guy who decided to start a YouTube channel and has some business goals and business ventures of his own, but I'm not really that different compared to you. And it's like, I'm just reminded every day of how grateful and happy I am, because without this whole internet thing, like, I know I will not be happy long term at a 9-to-5 job, at a typical job. So I just want to be real with you guys, and I know that not everybody who watches this will agree with me. Not everybody who watches my content will agree with me or agree with the way that I do things, but my motivations are different compared to yours, right? And I just want to be as transparent as possible on this journey and document as much as I can and put it on my social media, put it on my YouTube, because I just want you guys to see the progression, right? Within a year or 2 or 3 or maybe even 6 months from now, like Brian Jang now compared to that time, whenever you're watching this video, there could be a pretty stark difference, and there should be, because I'm putting things in place, I'm putting systems in place, I know what I want to do, I know what I need to get in life and how I'm going to get it, and I will go get it, and it's simple as that. So I'm just really determined in how I'm going to be accomplishing my goals, and without internet, without entrepreneurship and this whole like social circle of fantastic things, like I don't know where I would be. My biggest motivator is, of course, not just for my own benefits, but also for my family, for my mom, because my mom is a single mother. I live with my brother, my mom, and my 2 grandparents, so my mom's side. And financially speaking, like, we've never been wealthy, we've never been successful. And I just wanted to do really well so that I can provide not only for myself and my girlfriend and my future family when I have kids and stuff like that, but I also want to provide for her, right? Like, my mom deserves everything in the world, and she deserves to be happy. And with a job, with a 9-to-5 job, I can't do that, right? Like, even if you're making 100K, 200K, like, it's nice, but then like, you can't really provide as much for your family, for your mother, for your parents, as if you're making like 500K or $1 million a year. And that's the point that I want to get to. Because at the end of the day, everybody has their own motivations, right? It doesn't matter if you just want to make more money so that you can travel more. It doesn't matter if you just want to have more money in the bank to provide for your kids in the future, to pay for their college education, right? Like, everybody has motivations that are different, and they don't have to express it to everybody, but that's the point of this video, that's the point of this channel, for me to express myself and to be more vulnerable, to be as authentic as possible, so that you can kind of see where I'm coming from, see where I'm going, and then along the way you can see everything that happens, which is the entire point of this channel. Now, there's one more thing I wanted to mention before I end this video, and it is the reason why that I create content is I want to help motivate people to become better versions of themselves, to be more entrepreneurial, and to be more impactful to their peers. Because a lot of people will be like, hey, I want to be a better boyfriend, girlfriend, or hey, I want to make more money, or be like a really top position in my company, or like just be a better friend in general. And it's like, how the heck do you do all these things if you don't become a better version of yourself? If you are already a better version of yourself, you would have already attained those goals. You would have already gotten to your destination. You can't do that by just being the same person. You can't do that by being in your comfort zone. And of course, I will create content that's more hands-on, more tactical, in teaching businesses how to become better at their marketing and stuff like that. But I believe in providing more value than I take, and I think you should start thinking that way too. Alright, so that finally concludes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it was a longer video, but of course everything was necessary so that you can kind of see where I'm coming from and the motivations behind why I do what I do. If you found value in it, and if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And of course, if you hit the subscribe button, I would really appreciate that too. And yeah, I think that's basically it. It's not bad for my first actual longer video. So thanks a lot for watching again, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.